3-piece alder body, roasted flame maple neck with rounded fingerboard edges, jumbo stainless steel frets, hardtail bridge with stainless steel saddles and a string-through body, rounded off neck joint, spoke wheel truss rod, hump single configuration with a push-pull and a treble bleed circuit. Awesome looks. All of this for under $400. Seriously, how can you go wrong? Let's take a closer look. What's up guys, thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're taking a look at a really cool guitar with some crazy specs. As you can see, the full spec is right here. I got this from guitarfetish.com and it's by a company called SBS Guitars. It's pretty new and it's from their showroom series is what they call it. This particular model is an SS400. It's typically $359. I got this on sale for $309. And on top of that, I was able to put a coupon on it. So it costed roughly $250, $260, which is a killer deal, right? For years, I've been wanting a hum single or a hum single configured guitar, but I've not really been satisfied with any of them. And I specifically wanted something with a hardtail because I just really don't like dealing with tremolos. There are a few videos out there that really hyped these things up. It just seemed perfect for all levels of players, beginners, intermediate, pro, didn't matter. Kick-ass budget guitar, right? And it sounded amazing on all these videos. Well, I think those videos are bullshit, because this thing is fucking garbage. Here's why. First, let's talk about the positives. This will be pretty brief. So aside from the specs, this is a very nice feeling neck. It is a chunky boy, so keep that in mind, but I actually like a little bit thicker neck, so I like this. And the edges are rolled on the fretboard. The inside cavity where the wiring goes is also shielded with the shielding paint, which is nice. And you do have full-size potentiometers, so there's not much of a reason to really swap those out. The way this is laid out is nice. It has plenty of space if you want to do any kind of shenanigans in here, so no complaints there. The output jack is actually pretty good too. Nice and tight. You can actually pull on the guitar if you pull it by the cable, so no complaint there. The output jack's solid. These tuners, while they are just a no-name brand tuner and they're 14:1 gear ratio, they're actually surprisingly solid. There's not like a bunch of play in them or anything. They're fairly stable. And that's about it for the positives. So I'm naming off all these good things. What's bad about this guitar? The most important thing, the sound and the playability. Let's start with the neck. So we got stainless steel frets with round fingerboard edges and cheese grater fret ends right out of the package. I don't know if you could hear that on camera, but if you slide up and down, you're going to cut yourself. Now, if you know how to file your frets, this is not a big deal. This can be fixed, but if you don't, prepare to pay somebody to fix that for you. Now let's check the fret leveling. This is the deal breaker for me right here. Okay, that one's high. That one's high. That one's high. Flip it over. That one's extremely high at the 12. Another high one. Very high down here. So yeah, several unlevel frets. That makes it sound awful and feel awful when you're playing. And it's also very costly to get fixed by a luthier. The set screw on these saddles are entirely too damn high, which means they're going to be digging into your palm if you palm mute right here. And it's not pleasant. They're pretty sharp. So if you don't want to deal with that, you got to buy new screws or you got to grind these down to make them shorter. Next, the pickups. So GFS is known for having some really awesome budget pickups. I've had a couple in the past and they really were great. They sounded awesome. These are not GFS. These are actually by SBS. Don't know if GFS had anything to do with the design in these. I sure hope not, because these are some of the muddiest pickups I've ever played in my life. So they sound like the tone knob is rolled almost all the way down. No matter how you set your amp, no matter if you max these two knobs at once, the treble bleed circuit does nothing for it. You would think with the saddles being stainless steel, the bolt-on design, the alder body, the fact that this is an Alnico 5 here, it would be twangy as all hell, right? No. I'm going to show you a side-by-side between this guitar and a double humbucker guitar, and I want you to tell me which actually sounds more like a single coil. When I was watching videos of this, of other guys reviewing it, it sounded amazing. It sounded exactly like what I expected. But then I get the thing and I plug it in, and it's like I bought a totally different guitar from what they were playing. Next, while this is a cool color, this gold here, I'm a sucker for gold on any guitar. This looks and feels like it was just a weekend project in somebody's garage. There are several flaws on this thing. The top, not as much as the back, but you do see some black specks here. I'll get some close-ups on another camera picture if this doesn't come through. Scuff right there. Okay, you got dude's fucking fingerprint in there. And on the back, you have multiple black specks and scuffs around the string ferrules, right here, around the cavity. Okay. And this back here, it feels like they either didn't buff it properly or they didn't put any clear coat over this particular coat of paint, because you can actually feel the grit of this guitar. And if I angle it, you may be able to actually see what I'm talking about. Thankfully, the majority of the finish issues are limited to the back and the sides of the guitar, but still, it just looks and feels cheap. And I've seen Squires with much nicer finishes than this. Did I mention this bitch loves going out of tune? Watch this. It's already out of tune, but let's see if I can knock it out further. So I find this kind of weird and I really don't know what the cause is, but this guitar plays a lot more awkward than any guitar I've ever played. For some reason, there just seems to be way too much damn tension no matter how I set it up. It's got a standard set of strings, 10 to 46, has the exact same setup, and as far as physical specs, exactly the same as this Ibanez Geo here, hardtail, 25.5-inch scale, whatever. And this thing feels like I just have to work a lot harder to do basic things like just a bend or something. I just have to put a lot more effort into it. I could do it, but it really seems like it slows me down and it's a detriment to my actual playing because I'm focused on fighting with this thing than actually playing music. I don't know if it's the fact that it's got 2 string trees with a big break angle right there. Maybe that's what's doing it. Or if this bridge is further back than it's supposed to be. I really don't know. I just know out of every guitar I've played, this requires the most effort to play even after a setup. And in comparison, this Ibanez Geo here, which is $300 new, I got it for $100. This plays far better and is far easier to play, and the damn thing has medium nickel frets. Does not compute. For this sound demo, I want to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not actually supposed to be playing. I've got tendonitis in my left bicep, so I can't get too wild with riffs. I'm not going to have like a bajillion different sounds like I usually do. But I'm going to do my best with what I got here. For this video, I'm actually comparing these 2 guitars, the LTD SN1000 and the SBS. Why? Because this is a Telly type guitar with a true single coil. This is a double humbucker. You're about to see that this LTD sounds more like a Telly than the Telly. And now the same sort of thing with the actual single coil on the SBS guitar. Motherfucker's out of tune again. Hold on. This is going to show my biggest problem with these pickups. There is no attack to these. I don't mind them being a little lower output, but there's just no attack. It sounds totally muffled. So here is a LTD SN1000 with a Pegasus in the bridge, which that's not that high output either, but check this out. And here's the same kind of thing, but with the SBS, and I have not touched the amplifier. Yeah, you're probably yelling at the screen saying, just turn the amp gain up. Yeah, you can, but it still sounds like shit. Sounds like farts. Here's some solo-y type stuff. just really muddy and there's no attack at all. And then again, without touching the amplifier, let's switch to this guitar, play the same kind of thing. And there's actually too much gain. Here are some obligatory dad riffs. Another big issue I have with these pickups is Legato just sucks with them. I've got the gain turned up about 75% and there's a boost on, and it takes a lot more effort to do Legato type things on this guitar. There's just not enough output. Very bleh. And then if I switch to any other guitar, I've not touched the amplifier. Same with like sweeping and stuff. There's just nothing there. Here are some single coil riffs on the neck pickup. And here's the LTD again. This is a neck humbucker I'm playing, and tell me which sounds more like a single coil to you. So in conclusion, would I recommend this as a good budget guitar to start with? It has great specs. Nah, hell no. So there are several competitors out there that make a much nicer instrument than this. It doesn't matter what kind of specs you put on it. If it's built like trash, it's gonna be trash. This thing sounds horrible. The issue is it's not necessarily all bad. It's just when you factor in the cost of this, it will cost you more to get this thing right than it would be to just buy another guitar. I don't know if I just got a lemon or if the YouTubers that reviewed this already were sent like a model that was picked over or something. That's just speculation. I really don't know. All I know is what I have in my hand here, and I am not impressed. This is one of the shittiest guitars I have ever played. I had a $130 Squier Bullet Telecaster years ago that was hella nice compared to this. So if Squier can beat you with a $100 price tag, there's no excuse to be that bad. So that does it for today. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, horns up. Oh, and buy something else. SBS. Sucks ballsack.